Welcome in, guys. I'm back with one-on-one interviews for the Mya Alysia Podcast. I'm just happy to be back. I haven't been doing my podcast in a while, but we're here. Okay, we're back. So keep locked in. Okay, I'm honored to be here speaking with you, an icon, a veteran in the industry, and that leads me into giving you your flowers. Okay,
Oh,
so
thank
today,
you.
yes, today, guys, we have Mr. Richard Lawson. Mr. Lawson, you went from the battlefields of Vietnam as a combat medic to our living rooms in numerous shows, to name a few: The Cosby Show, Sister Sister, Parenthood, Love for Sale, and as of recently, Tyler Perry's Beauty and Black on Netflix, one of the most watched shows. So you also built
Wait,
Richard
wait,
Lawson.
wait, 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 wait. It is the
Oh,
most watched show. It was number one in the Nielsen ratings.
okay,
Just so we
you
get that clear.
okay. Let me re-correct it. The the watch show,
There you go. There you
the
go.
watch show, Beauty and Black, and you also built Richard Lawson Studios, not just an acting school, but an empowerment academy. And you've been acting for over 5 decades. So I want to tell you what I love about you. You don't just tell people to believe, you tell them to create their own evidence, because just like a salesman needs products, you got to have something to show for it. And your raison d'etre, your reason for being, and you've been proving it your whole life. So I'm honored to have you today and give you your
Mm.
flowers and take in all your wisdom.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, it's important to me. You know, talent is really not enough. Um, you have to have endurance and resilience and a vision, and you have to have a north star, your purpose. You have to be clear about, if you don't understand why you're doing this, then the winds and the shifting tides can take you to wherever you think opportunity is. But when you're clear about your purpose, opportunity is straight ahead, and that may be through mountains, it may be through storms, it may be through obstacles, it may be the China Wall, but nothing is going to stop you from getting to, because you keep rerouting and rerouting. It's like GPS. You have to have GPS. You don't have GPS, then you can wind up anywhere.
Exactly. I totally agree with that. I think purpose is so important because some people don't know how to, go get it. So just seeing what you're doing is amazing. And that leads me to what I want to ask you. As an actor, there's a misconception about roles being simply handed to veterans, but most of the time, you all go through the same exact audition process as everyone else. Can you walk us through what that journey looked like for you landing the role of Norman in Tyler Perry's Beauty and the Black on Netflix?
Well, I had worked with Tyler before. I first worked with him in For Colored Girls. Had a wonderful role in that, and uh, playing with Loretta Devine. Um, and then I did another show of his, one of his comedies, and then he was getting ready to do the Divorce in the Black, and he called me to the casting director Kim Coleman called me to read, and my manager said no, well, you can offer him the part, and then they came and they offered me the role and paid me handsomely, and I loved the role because um, me and Debbie, we Debbie and I are magic together. We have such chemistry. We always, whatever we do, it always turns into like this incredible dish, because we just love working together. But um, she was my wife, and we did the characters were so great because they were loving parents, they were supportive, they were understanding, and they were the kind of parents that you would want to have. And um and i i think a show should have been written about those two people. Um and then the then Beauty and Black came out of that, having worked with him. And he called one day and said, I got something for you and Debbie. And so then a few months later, the scripts came and we were ready to roll. And it was, in terms of reading it, it was like, what? Oh my God.
Yeah.
and and they ran over my wife. Are you
Hmm.
kidding me? My family? No, they didn't. You know what I mean? So, and then Diabolical Norman was born. And it's been so much fun, and especially because the show, that's no small matter. The show being number one across all television, um, and that's hard to do when you're on a streamer and you're on Netflix. You get the Netflix audience, but if you're number one in the Nielsen's, that means all audiences all over the world is watching you. And so we're talking probably since the inception of the show, probably about 8 billion minutes viewed.
Wow.
That's about 500 million hours. That's a lot of eyeballs.
It sure is. And I
Yeah.
was trying to hold in my laughter because yes, you and Miss Debbie on the show is insane, especially when you squeezed her leg and it was hitting it in the hospital because she was coming for your wife. Like I was really laughing. So I think you guys do make great television, and it's just amazing to see you guys in such a different role. Because like in Love Don't Cost a Thing, I saw you as sweet Uncle Mac trying to help out, up and coming artists. So it's just great to see you do different things and just be well versed. So I love that. I do.
Thank
And
you.
yeah,
Thank you.
and like I said, you're a man of honor, integrity, wisdom. So someone who leads with positivity. So how do you tap into your Beauty and Black character, Norman, who operates with absolutely no moral compass?
Um, he has a moral compass. Norman is the only one operating out of love.
Really? Tell
Everybody
me,
else
tell me how. Tell me how.
Big, look, everybody else is operating out of greed, avarice, jealousy, power, control, money. Um, uh, Norman, somebody killed his wife and he's trying to find out who did it. Okay. He might be involved in some other stuff that, is not necessarily the kind of stuff that's going to get you into heaven's gate. You know what I mean? But he's operating out of love and in his grief, and from that comes this diabolicalness, because when you think about it, you know the ones that you love the most are the ones that you are being hurt by. There's nothing more devastating than your family being the haters and then keeping it from you, and even being involved in killing your wife so she can't say the truth. It's like, oh no, I ain't having that. And so therefore he will go to any lengths to find out who did it and to get his revenge. So he's operating out of love, as strangely as it may seem or sound, just based upon, you know, all the stuff that he does. He don't hesitate in terms of taking somebody out.
No, he doesn't. And that's where I'm gonna get to this point. So I agree with you. He is absolutely not wrong for getting vengeance for his wife. But we gotta talk about him burning down the judge's house, setting it on fire with his wife in it. Now that is pure evil. How can you explain it? Was that coming from love, Mr. Lawson?
That was coming from self-preservation,
Okay.
because you saw the judge was getting ready to like snitch. The judge was getting ready to take him out, and because she knew what was up,
Mm-hmm.
they washing dishes, and cleaning the silverware and talking all that stuff, and she knows all the details. She got to go too. You know,
Well, go ahead. You go ahead.
no, I'm just saying. I mean, it's like self-preservation. It's like, okay, he could be nice about it and say, please don't tell. I wish you wouldn't give me up. And it's like, no, no, no.
So
It's
Uncle
even
Norman,
good.
basically, word is not bond. Just because somebody tells him, "I won't say nothing to nobody," it's just that's not gonna work for you.
How many people have said that to you, and you know what I mean? You've come to find out later they're the ones who drove the knife deeper.
You know what? You got a point. You got me. You got me. So you know what? You rest your case. You rest your case. Mm?
No, no. You know, the proof is in the pudding.
It
You know what I
is.
mean?
Yes.
I know people that's doing time, you know, lots of time, many years, just because they ain't giving it up. They're not snitches. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
They're gonna go down, you know, holding on to the word of honor, which is, you know, you don't rat on your friends.
I understand. No, I understand that. And what does it take mentally and emotionally to inhabit someone so dark and corrupt, even if it is coming from love?
Well, you know, you're interviewing me, but I don't want to turn it around the other way. But when you look at the times in your life, you see, the only people you can hate are the people you love.
Okay.
Somebody out in the street can piss you off. You can really be upset with a lot of things. You know, it doesn't fall into the area of hate because the only thing that can create hate is love. They're opposite sides of the circle. And so, therefore, if you look at, you know, the kinds of things that other people do, it outside of the ones that are in your heart, they can piss you off, they can enrage you, they can do a lot of things. But hate comes from love.
Mm.
In the Tahitian language, um, the word love is the same word as hate. It's just the way it's the inflection. Day is opposite of night, but they're mirrors of each other. So love and hate is the mirrors of each other. You know, grief and joy, they're mirrors of each other. The depth of the grief is going to be based upon the deepness of the love. When you go to a funeral, you can just close your eyes and you can listen to people as they moan and as they are expressing degrees of grief. You can say, "That's a friend. Um, that's an acquaintance. Oh, that's a son or a daughter. Oh, that's a mother. Oh, that's a wife." That grief sounds is identifiable. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And it's based upon the degree of love.
Mm.
So his degree of love for his wife is what drives him to do the things he does. Um, and so for me, calling upon where in me does that ability to play that live? Well, I have had several occasions in my life where I was so hurt and devastated by someone who I loved, and the thoughts that you have sometimes are diabolical. Sometimes you feel so hurt that you want to kill somebody. That's a feeling that arises, and it's a natural feeling of that arises. It doesn't mean you act on it, but it means that you have the expression or the feeling of it. It comes up. You know, I have been so close to having, you know, wanting to act on certain things, but you know, you have enough emotional maturity, hopefully, that you can process that, pivot, and proceed. So, you know, and if you live the life and you're not in a hole somewhere, you're going to have all those feelings. And God bless the fact that, you know, that you are, if hopefully you're still capable of having a broken heart.
Mm. Yes, yes. I would consider myself an empath. Yes, and I was speaking to a lady, and it's interesting that you say that you have enough maturity to stop those thoughts because she was saying another person was an NPC. I was like, what is an NPC? She said a non-player character, a person that doesn't have any internal monologue to tell them, do not go on with those vile thoughts you have. So it goes back to what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not that I can't stop the feelings or the thoughts. I just don't act on them.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's the difference. We're gonna have the feelings or thoughts. It's like, for instance, you know, I'm a drug education training and treatment and aftercare specialist. One of the things that I did is I ran the drug program for the NBA for 11 years. But one of the things that is true is the fact that, you know, you when you have a dysfunction, a dis-ease, you don't cure it. You may quail the desire for it, and it is always alive in you because you never completely cure it. You learn to you learn how not to be reactive to it so that you manage it. But it is always there. It comes up. It comes up, but you have to okay, no, I can make better choices. I have made better choices. I have these better choices all through my life that I don't have to deal with that. Because you can't control what happens to you. You can always control how you react to what happens to you.
Wow, that was really good.
Explain that what you just said to me. A non what
A-
player?
An NPC, a non-player character. So she was explaining to me that person doesn't have an internal monologue to be able to stop the different thoughts. Like we all have, like you said, where we have a wrath or we just want to hurt. We have just thoughts in our head where we're angry, but we know how to control those thoughts. So NPC, non-player character.
Hold on a second. Hey Siri, make a note of NPC, non-player character. Are you listening?
No, sometimes like Siri does what she wants.
Hey, I got a whole dysfunctional relationship with Siri. I swear to God.
I
Sometimes,
don't need user.
sometimes Siri talks to me like she owns me. Like I'm her man. You know what I mean? She'll have a reaction and be like, "What? Wait, who are you talking to?"
Listen, okay, I need maybe you know what? I need to set up my series, see what she's talking about. But I do want to ask you so to make sure I'm understanding. So with Uncle Norman, as I look back at Beauty and Black in certain things, like how he set the car on fire because he thought one of the sons was going to be in the car. So he's very calculated. Does this relate to what you're saying? Is like he's able to he has composure, but when he snaps, he snaps. So am I understanding that?
Yeah, when certain things will make us snap. Certain things will, you know, you know, when you're talking to people who's living in a situation that is um, claustrophobic, and they don't have the ability to get out and externalize because they're so caught up in care, in caring for others, and it's in a small community because sometimes some people need like 24 round the clock care, so to speak, and so their options are not as great as other people, and they get to a place that they're just fed up. They're done. You know what I mean? And sometimes you read about people doing horrific things and they finally snapped where they become temporarily insane because they snapped. And when you're in a situation and you understand, especially when you have options and you make sure that you live in a world that is larger. There's more space that you can step outside of the circumstance and breathe and think about it and let come down. You can make better choices. But when you're in a claustrophobic world and you don't have the relief of externalizing, sometimes you can snap and do certain things. And in that situation, he's in a claustrophobic world because he lives on a compound that his family lives in, and so he's in constant contact with all of these degenerates, the way that they think and the way that they act and the way that they're like crabs in a basket, you know what I mean, and they ain't letting nobody else out, but they gonna try to get, it's that they begin to think irrationally. And sometimes when he feels enclosed, because somebody's getting ready to come down and take his inheritance, he's got to protect that because that has become everything, because everything has become about material things and control and all that comes with having that kind of power. So it does bring out the diabolicality.
Okay, and that diabolicality. So
It's a word. I just made it
that's a
up.
word. Okay,
It's in the Lawsonary.
okay. Look, I'm gonna write that down. So that
We're
diabolicality.
teaching each other here. We're
Yeah,
teaching
I
each other.
know. I'm really learning. I'm really learning. I told you I'm soaking up all the wisdom. So I want to go and move into Jules. So I can't speak for the writers, but hypothetically, if Uncle Norman had the opportunity to get the ultimate revenge after Jules chopped him in his throat and threw him on the ground, what do you think he would do?
Well, you're gonna yet to find that out, right?
Right.
Well, what what I would like to do, what I would like to do, see, this is a family. I'm sure this is a family exchange here. You got kids looking at that, you know what I mean? But if I'm thinking in the mind of Norman, Norman is probably, you know, it's possibility that Charles might be his son.
Mm,
I'm just saying, I don't know. You know, Tyler did not say that, but I hear a lot of that in people be saying, Roy is his son because you know he used to be messing with Livia, so he's probably one of his sons is probably or both might be his son. And so I'm just, you know, I'm talking way out of school. But but if Charles was my son and he was capable of doing what he did, Norman might do that to Jules.
ooh. And you know what? I'm not mad at him because when Jules did that, I wasn't even scared for Uncle Norman. I was scared for Jules. I said, "Now, why would you go? Oh, why would you do that?" And then, you know, you said, Uncle Norman. He's like, I believe he said something of the sort of like, "Oh no, you just crossed the line," or something of the line that because
You
he said
crossed the
he reached his
line.
end, right? He reached his end, and you
Yeah,
were like,
yeah,
I gotta rewatch it. I gotta remember the exact lines. But that
yeah.
I
No,
was like,
no, he crossed the line.
yes,
He crossed
like
the.
he thought he was bigger than the program.
Yeah, yeah. He crossed the line. He 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 messed. Listen, some people that you don't want to mess with.
Okay,
Some
and
people, you know, better to walk away because you don't want what's coming.
And you know what? I'm scared talking to you right now. I'm scared talking to you right now. I don't know. Listen, I don't know. He might come out. So I'll see. We'll see. And this leads me to Horace made an appearance, and now the FBI is brought in, right? So Uncle Norman has survived and schemed his way through everything the show has thrown at him, but now he's likely behind bars. How do you think a man like Norman, who always has an angle, a plan, gets himself out of jail? Does he still have enough power and influence to pull strings? Or is this jail thing what breaks him?
What do you think?
Okay, so what I think is, I think Uncle Norman's gonna escape. I do. I think he's not going to. I don't think he's gonna make it in there like a day. I think he's gonna get out. But I also know Horace. Horace doesn't play either. Horace got. He was playing chess. Okay, because he said chess. He said chessmate. Mm-hmm. So we gotta see, because them two.
No, he said checkmate, but he didn't realize that the game wasn't over.
Mm-hmm.
He
Okay, how?
it looked like he said checkmate, but sometimes people say that and they forgot that there's another move. And it's like, oh wait a minute, I said that a little too soon. So, you know, you seem to have an idea of what Norman would do. Just trust yourself. That's all I would say. Is just trust yourself because you know damn well he ain't laying down and he's got a whole lot of things up his sleeve. So the fat lady ain't singing yet.
Ooh, listen, I think it's gonna be y'all gonna have to duel it out because it's you got two powerful brothers, and then like Horace, he has his game, then you got your game. It's just it's a lot. So I'm gonna see, but let me ask you because we have to know: has filming for the next season begun yet?
Oh, we're done.
Really?
Yeah, we filmed this in December.
Oh, okay. So what could you tease without giving too much away?
Uh, I love to tease, but
I got you.
and you like to be teased, obviously, but it's like you don't want me to give up anything because you want me. All I can tell you is that it's insane. It's every episode you're gonna say, "What? No!" It is talk about cliffhangers. So let me just advise that it's 8 episodes. Each episode is probably 47, 45, 46, 47 minutes. And which is true of every hour show. You know, it's only 47 minutes of the show. The rest of it is commercials. On a half hour show, it's only 23 minutes of the show. And that other 7 minutes is commercials. So the show is, even though we don't have commercials, the show is like 47, 48 minutes, something like that. Uh, Start early. All I'm saying is that if you need to sleep, if you can sleep in, you good. But if you need to sleep, you need to start this around 9, 10 o'clock, so that because you're gonna go from episode to episode to episode, you're not gonna be able to turn off.
Exactly.
And at the end, you're gonna sit there for about an hour with your mouth wide open, saying, "What the fuck?"
Okay, I'm excited. And can you give us a date? I saw somebody say that. Could you?
Get I what?
Are you able to give us a date of like or like an estimate of when
Oh,
it
they
will
don't
be?
tell us. They
Okay.
don't tell us just for because they know that we go. They don't trust actors to keep the tea. They don't trust us with that.
Okay.
All I can tell you is if you look at the pattern, it releases the beginning of the season starts like usually in September, October. The last season, season 2 started in September. Season 1 started in October. And so they'll do October, and then March will be the second half of the season, right? So we only have 8 shows left. So then in August, or it's either September or October, by the way that they have done it in the past, that it'd probably be September, October, and you'll see the last 8 episodes, and then people gonna lose their minds because there ain't no more.
Ooh, okay, I'm ready. And the real celebrity tea, Travis, we cannot get the dates yet, but Mr. Lawson just explained it, so look out for that. Okay, and I'm wrapping up. I have one more question because you're a motivational speaker as well. And I saw a quote that you said, and it's so deep. I need you to explain it really quickly. So it said that never let expectation change your what is the next word? 'Cause I can't remember exactly, but it's a never let expectation change your belief, I think. Is that right?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Never let expectations get higher than your gratitude.
Yes.
And so, therefore, always be grateful for what's in front of you, no matter what the results, because of the fact that, we don't, if we usually are like result oriented. And because we're not at the result level, then it's like, why? How come it's not already here? And so it's about being grateful for where you are, no matter where that is, because the challenges are there for a reason. The challenges are the things that is there to make you stronger, to test your will about how much you want it, and that you have to work through it. You get down, how many times can you get up? Because the one time you don't get up, the door was waiting for you right around the corner and you gave up and went on. So always be grateful for where you are because it always could be worse.
Mm.
And if you're grateful, then you can receive the blessing. You know what I mean? Wait for it to come because, first of all, it's bigger than you. It's bigger than you. I'm on assignment. So I'm doing what I've been asked and told to do and guided to do. So let me just follow the instructions. And instructions, look, last night, yesterday, something misunderstanding and stuff, and we're supposed to go to Cannes and do this big event, me and my partner. Yesterday it was canceled. And it was like, we've been planning this. We put big money in this. It was like the whole thing was everything we've been working on was built on this thing, right? All of a sudden it's gone. No. Old man told me once, every goodbye ain't gone. And patiently, postulating, prayer, seeing what I want the result to be, putting that energy in the universe, writing people, changing the narrative, handling it, taking care of people's spirit, never being negative about it. I got a text this morning at 5 o'clock saying, okay, it's back on and this is what you got to do. And now it's back on again. But I was grateful for the process and I never got negative about it. I never turned away and gave up. There was no defeat in it. It's like resilience, bounce back, make amends, be humble. And all of those qualities led it to come back into play again, gratefully so. So gratitude is everything.
Wow.
Be grateful because it could be different.
It really could. Wow, you are so deep. I want to thank you for your deepness. Okay, and last thing for real, I'm a reporter, like I said, and I know other people are wanting to get into Hollywood or just this industry. You've thrived so long. Can you just give us a little bit of advice of how you kept grounded and just have made it so far?
Being clear about my purpose. I wake up every day and no matter what looks like in front of me, I know there's what I see and then there's what I see. I'm not going to be fooled by what I see. I know that nobody can stop what I see because what I see has been given to me. So therefore, they don't have control of it. The control comes from beyond. And I'm listening to that. And so therefore I can't be unhappy. I can only experience the joy of it. I know that disappointment is just it's fake. It's dressed in different clothing. Underneath it is the truth. And so therefore I keep my eye on the prize and I just stay committed to the journey and just trust the process. And I know that, it may be a challenging day, but it's never a loss.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Mr. Lawson. I really appreciate this. I feel ready to take on the day. I do. I feel.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Thank you.
Of
Thank you
course you
so
do.
much. I enjoyed you, and I thank you for your time and all you've done for the young generation, for the new, for the old, everybody. Thank you.
I hope somebody tells you every day how beautiful you are.
Thank you, Mr. Lawson. Thank you. Thank you. Trust that. Yes, I have a village, as you would say, a village of people that support me, my family. Yes, thank you.
That's everything. Your community is everything because we don't do this alone.
Okay.
So
Okay. And I'm
mhm.
I'm 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 very blessed, and I appreciate that because you need your community, especially having your family support you. If nobody else supports you, I know I have my family. So
Well, that's a DNA family or selected family.
exactly, exactly.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna be looking out. Okay. All right.
Okay. All
And
right.
you have a blessed day and have fun. Did you go? And you're going to Kane now? Like,
I'm going to Cannes. I go to Cannes on the 13th, 12th,
okay,
on the 12th.
okay,
And I'm there for about 10 days. And if you've never been, it's magical.
beautiful. Well, you have a safe trip. I've been to Europe though. I've been to Spain, but you have a safe
Uh,
trip. Yes,
Good. Thank you.
you have a safe trip, and I will speak with you soon. Okay.
Okay. All
Thank you.
right. All right. Bye bye.